American Mom on Southern Mom. Today is TGIF, so we're going to be reacting to True Detective. This is the second episode. I'm very excited to see what's going on with Rusty and Marty. A lot happened in the last episode. We all know what's going on. I'm ready to get into the second one. All right, let's do this.
She didn't talk about her daddy none. Said
She's just
going to
standing
church.
there.
Do you remember where that church was,
Oh,
Mrs. Kelly?
no. Ow. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Hail Mary, full of grace.
Do you remember where this church was?
No.
You know where she might have been staying? Her landlord said she'd moved out last summer.
That's when I stopped seeing her so much. She mentioned someplace down south, like around Spanish Lake, shelter. Girls used to stay there, something, all she said.
I was married, Marty, for 3 years. We had a baby girl. She died. Car accident. She was 2 years old.
Aww.
Marriage couldn't handle it.
Your kid died? Oh, I'm sorry.
Rusty's
man.
wife
I'm
didn't
so
already
sorry. I
tell
didn't
him.
know. I mean, it wasn't you guys. It was just me. Well, I can't say the job made me this way. More like me being this way made me right for the job. And I used to think about it more, but you know, you reach a certain age, you know who you are. Now I live in a little room out in the country behind a bar. Work 4 nights a week. In between, I drink. And there ain't nobody there to stop me.
You gotta decompress before you can go being a family man. What you get into working, you can't have the kids around that. In the end, it's for the good of the family.
Of course. That's what you need to tell yourself. Yeah. It's that one from work. I know it.
Now, what do you mean exactly, these visions you mentioned?
Oh, shit, I thought you knew. I told Marty about them, you know, down the line. Chemical flashbacks, neural damage. You know, from my time in the HIDTA, that's in high-intensity drug trafficking area.
Girls work, stay. They call it the ranch.
Where's that?
Like south of Spanish Lake, supposed to be. You know the place?
That other girl mentioned Spanish Lake.
I get a connotation being implied here about my wife.
What you saying, that's wife? The high tide you walking in with?
You got some idea how my wife's pussy's supposed to smell?
No, I just meant you wearing the same clothes as you did yesterday. Coupled with the fact that I ain't stupid.
Good talk. Like, go to work and get your ass to Spanish Lake. Yeah.
We, looking for a little bunny ranch down around these parts, y'all. Know where we could find it?
No, sir.
Never heard about it? Little whorehouse?
I knew it. I was going to say, he's going back in there. Oh, God. What's he going to do? What's he going to say?
It's my bad, boys. Maybe we got started on the wrong foot there.
Oh. Yeah, I thought maybe he'd do something he's not supposed to do. Ah!
You remember where that little whorehouse is, huh? We exit off the shoulder before we get to the 14. From there, we take a dirt fishing road to Bayou Chanel.
Okay.
Don't ask. Don't ask questions.
Yeah, a story. Something happened?
You know about that woman found outside of Erath?
She'd been going to church.
We know.
I was hoping
Where?
maybe she just turned things around.
There are other places she could go.
Such holy bullshit from you. It's a woman's body, ain't it?
King's children were marked. They became his angels.
The drawing.
The Yellow King, Carcosa.
Nut job. Fried her brain or whatever she was on. Sounds like she didn't have much to begin with.
That reads like fantasy. What if he was dosing her regular? And over a period of time, upping the dose little by little without her knowing it? Well, we should go there. Could be the church
I
everyone
just said
mentioned.
that.
Well,
Now I'm a
let's check around for
detective as
John while
well.
we're out here and pick up the church on Monday.
Anyway, afterwards, Claire and I turned on each other. You know, we resented each other for being alive, you know.
So she was hit by a car.
I transferred from robbery to narco. Started hitting it, 24/7. Street rips, knocking down doors. Like within 3 months, I was ripping off couriers or ending up in a Ramada Inn with a couple of fucking 8-balls. Oh, yeah. Somewhere in there, Claire left. And, somewhere in there, I emptied a 9 into a crankhead for injecting his infant daughter with crystal. So they did. They made me a floater, like a trick. Any agency or department needed a deep undercover narco. They got me. And there was no fucking expiration date, baby.
And they kept you out there for 4 years.
Mm-hmm. February of '93, I killed 3 cartel men in the port of Houston. I took 325s in the side and ended up at North Shore Psychiatric Hospital in Lubbock, Texas.
You want me to talk about the woman had antlers? You want me to tell you about the kids disappearing? And maybe you'll stop with the poor me little whiny bullshit. Yeah, we're starving.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Good.
I want him to go to dinner.
Cole, we got a new rule around here, especially for you. You got an opinion about anything, you hold on to it.
You can't.
You hold on to it, or you tell it to Marty. Otherwise, button your big fat mouth. However smart you are, you're not as smart as you think.
He's serious, boss. Why, this God-bothering shit. It's a political circle jerk. You know this.
Is this a place you live? Where are you, huh? You had anything in the last weeks? You got a suspect?
Give us some more guys to follow up KAs, track records.
So our bosses don't want you at all. You understand? I don't want you. You are upright only by the grace of this man's reputation. God damn, Cole, how many ways are there for me to say, shut the fuck up? Teddy Bertrand's a good detective. You know him. Well, you're a smartass with your mouth shut.
I was just gonna say, we've got a lead on a church. Our Vic was spending a lot of time there. That's where we were headed. It could be the break we need.
Inside whatever they're putting over you, how much more time could you get us? Fire must have happened a long time ago.
There are other times. I thought secret truth of the universe.
Okay. This episode was a lot. We're still in this case from the first episode. This girl, Dory, heard it both ways. They're trying to find her, figure out what happened to her. Is she the one that's missing or the one that they found? They're asking around all these people. And there's a church that keeps getting brought up. And I think they're at the end, they found the church, but it's been burned for a while. And then there was a drawing in the church. Probably drawn after the fact. I don't think like it was there when the church was, I don't know. The name Spanish Lake was thrown around a couple different times. So they were focused on that area. There was a bunny farm. It was a like a trailer park whorehouse, something like that. But evidently she worked there, or the girls knew her from there. Anyway, they got a diary from there. And she wrote some weird stuff in there. I'm sure it'll come back up. The king and something else. All these antlers and like a crown and like these weird twig things that they keep finding. They say it's like satanic. I don't like that. I don't like satanic stuff. Dealing stuff. I don't like that. But hope they find this Joker. I mean, we've got a lot of flashbacks to still go through because Rusty's talking to these two guys, and then so is Marty separately, but they're flashing back to 1995 working on this case. And we already know that they've worked together for 7 years, but they haven't seen each other for 10. I don't know how long this case takes to solve. But they've been showing this picture of Dory around a bunch of people. They've talked to the mother. Marty is having these, they're beyond regular marital problems. He's bringing a lot of it on himself with his stress. Relieving of stress. I suspect his wife knows from this episode how they kind of were at her parents' house, you know. And he went into his daughter's room to get him for dinner, and they were so excited that he was going to have dinner with their family because he's not there a lot. But those dolls were positioned, and I noticed the girl laying down had blonde hair, and then like people were standing around her, and then obviously, you know, there was someone on top of her. That's not normal. He just kind of looked at it and was like, and then went on. I mean, he's working on this weird case. I mean, I would be like, wait a minute. You know, because we see these prostitutes, they're walking around the streets, but we see like, I've noticed like younger, smaller kids just hanging around too. Not as young as his kids maybe, but not much older. This town is just something else. But, okay, so we got a little bit more information on Rusty's ex-family. He was married for 3 years, and they had a 2-year-old, and apparently she was on a tricycle. And he said she was in a car accident. But then when he started revealing, like, she was playing outside and she was on her tricycle, she must have got hit by a car. And he said their marriage couldn't take it. So I don't know who was supposed to be watching her, but they probably blamed each other. And anyway, that didn't happen. And then he turned to drugs and narcotics, and God, he spent some time in a psychiatric hospital. And then he did undercover narcotics. And then he just really went undercover and like got rid of some really bad people, but he was also doing his own thing. And then he was owed some favors, and then he got to work with Marty. I like where the story is kind of going. I mean, I'm pretty sure that by the, last episode, this is all going to wrap up. And then probably season 2 is a whole other case or whatever. So we've got probably 6 more episodes to watch in order to figure all this out. But they only have like 2 more weeks, according to their boss. He was going to bring in another task force, and they basically gave up their notes of all the, foot traffic and everybody they've been talking to over to them, and they asked for 2 more weeks. So I'm interested in learning more about what they find out and go from there. So I'm enjoying the series. I'm really enjoying it. I find myself a lot just because the acting is so good. I love Matthew McConaughey as just an actor. He's mesmerizing, and you sit there and you're like, but that's my reaction. So I don't know how I'm going to edit this, but he tells a story, and it's like you're just hanging on every word. And Woody Harrelson's awesome too, and they're just together. They're talking back and forth. Their dynamic is great, and you just find yourself just watching it. But there's not a lot of moments. I mean, there is some, obviously, but it's good acting. It's just really good. So I'm very interested in seeing more. So I'm enjoying it. Thank y'all for watching with me, and until the next video and the next time. Bye.